Hi, I'm Ken from mytajgarage.com, and this is July 2020 in the middle of the COVID quarantine. And we're going to talk through some of the enhancements and modifications I've made to a 2000 Ford Excursion with a 7.3 turbo diesel. I recently had to haul 8,000 pounds, about 1,000 miles, and I was really worried about how the truck was going to handle and perform. So we'll take you through some of the enhancements I made in preparation for this trip. So let's go ahead and go through a few things underneath here. We just got done with a performance upgrade. I included Gabriel Max Control shocks all the way around. There's a lot of information on the internet about how different shocks perform, but I thought this gave the overall balance of performance and rideability in making a smooth ride, and it really has helped. If you look underneath here, couple things that we've done. You'll see the Rough Country dual shock steering stabilizer, which really helped. The steering was really loose, and it was super easy to turn. Another thing that you can't really see in here very well is the most important modification that I made, and that is a red head steering gearbox. I had a lot of drift on this truck and I did a ton of reading on it, and having gone through the entire front end, settled on the red head steering gearbox, and it has absolutely no play in it at all. And with that, made all the difference in the world. A couple of other things that we did here. Go ahead and come on in here. You will see that there is a Hellwig front sway bar right in here, and that helped to stabilize the front end. Switched out the front stabilizer and upgraded the front stabilizer. Through the rear here, you will see that there is a 4-inch Diamond Eye Performance exhaust all the way through the rest of the truck. It was probably the second most difficult upgrade that I made to try and get this to fit in all the different crevices and clear all the clearances that are in the front, besides that red head gearbox. That was pretty challenging as well, but was able to do everything myself. I added a Hellwig rear stabilizer to the back of this to make sure that everything performed well, and there wasn't any sway back and forth. Clear here in the back, we did a rear suspension stabilizer. There's a lot of different discussions around if you should use airbags or not, and I added the stabilizers here to the back so that it wouldn't squat so much, and I have it on the highest setting that you can have it on to be able to pull. So that so far has done really well. I was able to pull that 8,000 pounds with really no problem. So come on and we'll take a look at a couple of other things. There you can see the new shocks that we have on there from Gabriel. They went on pretty easily. Just making sure that you had them compressed when you were able to put them on. Here you can see some of the rear springs that were on the rear stabilizer suspension upgrade. In the back, the Excursion tows 10,000 pounds, and then I had to make sure that we had the right ball and the right hitch to be able to do that. I did get a tongue weight gauge where you can measure the weight of your trailer to make sure it's between 9% and 15% of your total towing weight is on the tongue, and that really, from a safety perspective, made a lot of difference and gave me a little bit more comfort. I do have it on the lift. We're going to go ahead and take it off the lift. Show you a couple of other things that we did real briefly. This Excursion is about all this lift can handle. Makes me a little bit nervous working underneath it. So far, so good. If you come around to the inside, in the very back, you will see that there is a Banks turbo upgrade kit with a new wheel on it and a new turbo housing, in addition to the wastegate upgrade that came with it, to be able to make your turbo a little bit more efficient. Let's go around. That was really the main performance upgrade that was inside the engine. I did that myself. It was quite challenging. Not sure I'll do that one again, but everything worked out okay. Here you can see that I included some gauges. I wanted to make sure that when we were towing that we weren't overloading any parts of the truck. These were from Glow Shift. I have an exhaust gauge temperature right here, a boost temperature gauge here, and then a transmission gauge. I was pleasantly surprised in towing in 90-degree heat that my transmission temperature stayed around 170 degrees through the Flint Hills here in Kansas, and pleasantly surprised that I didn't have to get any sort of additional transmission cooler. The last thing that I did here to round everything out is the Evo Edge H2 chip tuner. I didn't really want anything more specific than and more powerful and more robust to have to switch between all the different settings. I wanted to be able to set it and forget it, and that's really helped as well. So as you can see, this is a really nice Excursion. It's got the 7.3 diesel. It's got 111,000 miles on it, so I think it has a lot of life left on it. This truck was formerly a Arizona truck, and even spent some time down in Mexico. So it's super clean. It was really well taken care of, and I'm excited to be able to have it and hopefully be able to take a lot of people in it and be able to do some towing while we're at it. So if you have any questions, just shoot me a comment down below, and thanks for watching.